The president has arrived in a buggy at Kartavya Path, or actually is leaving right now the Rashtrapati Bhavan. We're going to continue to stay with these visuals, but also reflect on with what General Kulkarni and Sandeep Unithan was also speaking of, which is the National War Memorial and the importance of that. The President of India there alongside the chief guests for the 6th January Republic Day celebrations. Those visuals there coming in. We will have the President take the salute at a ceremonial march past, which will consist of units drawn from all three services, tri-services, Sandeep, the paramilitary forces and other auxiliary civil forces as well, the National Cadet Corps and the National Service Scheme.
Absolutely, Preeti. And there you can see two of our chief guests there flanking the President of India, Droupadi Murmu ji, Antonio Costa and Ursula von der Leyen. Like we were talking about, the fact that today is symbolic in so many ways. It's not just the first 26th of January since Operation Sindoor, but it also shows a realignment.
राष्ट्रपति भवन के भव्य प्रांगण में प्रेसिडेंट बॉडीगार्ड लाइंड अप हैं और अब आगमन हो रहा है ऐतिहासिक बग्गी का.
To reflect a little, Sandeep, on our chief guests for the 77th Republic Day. In 2015, Antonio Costa had become the Prime Minister of Portugal, a position he'd held for 9 years. Antonio Costa also played a crucial role in the European Union, advocating more inclusive, solidarity-based European policies. On the other hand, you have Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission, our other chief guest, a European, and her contributions as well from 2005 to 2019. She was a federal minister in charge of family, youth, then labor and defense in her home country, Germany. She took to the helm of the European Commission in 2019, where she steered the EU response to the COVID-19 pandemic, Russia's war against Ukraine, energy crisis. In July 2024, she was elected for a second term as President of the European Council. And, a minute there to reflect on our chief guests for the 77th Republic Day, loaded in symbolism, in political messaging, in geopolitics, very, very important, especially at the time where we stand today. All right, the President from here on, like I had pointed out, will leave in a buggy to Kartavya Path, and there she will take the salute. Along in the buggy with the President are the two chief guests that we just spoke of.
Preeti, there's a little more significance to Ursula von der Leyen being there in that horse-drawn buggy. The fact is that she's a keen equestrian and she's been involved in competitive horse riding. She owns horses. She has a farm there in near Hanover, and so she is a very, very big proponent of horse riding, and so she would be delighted at what's going on right now to be in that horse-drawn buggy there, being escorted by the President's Bodyguard, who are among the oldest horse cavalry regiments still existing in the world. So India has two of the oldest horse cavalry regiments in the world. One is, of course, the President's Bodyguard, which traces its origins to the 18th century. And then you have the 61st Cavalry, which is one of the very few horse cavalry regiments which we are going to see today on Kartavya Path. So I'm sure Ursula von der Leyen will be delighted at what she's witnessing right now, given the fact that how keen she is about, equestrian activities and the fact that she's a horse owner herself.
Going around the
You know, the
44
resplendent
meter tall
visuals
Jaipur
coming
column.
in from Rashtrapati Bhavan. You have the president there along with the two chief guests in a buggy. You know, the protocol to it, you know, the ceremony to it. Many would think it's pomp and pageantry, but it's rooted deep in, you know, the oldest living civilization, which is India, embodying the extraordinary continuous of culture, spiritual and intellect heritage spanning over 5,000 years. And with that, keeping abreast with the times that we live in, especially in terms of geopolitics.